Good evening. In previous session, we have seen some of the methods of our dictionary. So today we are going to see remaining methods and functions of the dictionary. So in previous session, we have seen pop method and pop item method. Now I'm going to show you about a method that is which retrieves the keys of all the items in our dictionary. So the method name is keys. The method name is keys. So here, if we apply these keys on a dictionary, it is going to retrieve only the keys that are present in the dictionary. It is not going to return you the values. So it returns what? It returns keys of the dictionary. Only keys of the dictionary. Okay. Let us see with example. Now, let us consider a dictionary. D equal to, I'm going to take some one, and let us say I will take some names here. Okay, just I will take only three names, three items in our dictionary. Okay, so these are the list of items we are going to have. So these are the items we are going to have in our dictionary. So now I want to take only the keys. So if I write d dot keys, see what happens. It is going to give the values, that is 1 2 3. So if I am going to, that means what? If I write d dot keys, it is going to give you what? Only the keys of the dictionary. That is what? 1 2 3. Right. Now, if I want to update the dictionary, for example, we are having already we have seen some methods for updating this dictionary. For that means for adding the dictionary, that is I want to add one more element to the dictionary. For example, d of 4 equal to, let us take Ravi. Okay, so dictionary is updated. Now see, so dictionary is updated with one more element. So now I want to get the key of the newly added element also. So what I have to do, just I have to do the same thing, that is d dot keys. So if I'm going to d dot keys, what happened? It is going to give me all the keys once again. Okay, so in this way we can retrieve the keys from the dictionary. So by using the keys method, what we can do, we can retrieve the keys of the items that are present in the dictionary. Right. Now I want to retrieve only values. Now I have taken what? Only keys. Now I want to retrieve values. So for retrieving the values, we are having a method called as values method. So the method name is what? Values. So this value method is going to return what? It returns all the values. Only values. Okay. Only values of dictionary. Okay, so let us see now how it is going to return values of the dictionary. So already I have created one dictionary D here. So I'm having some four items are there in our dictionary. So just I want to get all the values that are present in the values. So just I will write what? D dot values. Okay, so we are going to get what? Some object we are going to get. Okay, 1 minute. Here I have to take what? Some method. So just I have to take the method. So we are going to get what? All the values that are present in the dictionary. So if I want to store, let us, I will take some D1. Otherwise, I will take a name called as values equal to some D dot values. So you are going to get what? You are going to get all the values into values variable. So if you press values also, we are going to get the same thing. Okay, let us take for I in values. Just I want to print what? Print of I will print. So what we are going to get? We are going to get 1 minute. Okay, we are going to get all the values that are present in our dictionary. So if you want to print one by one, better go for your for loop. Otherwise, if you want to see all at a time, we have to go for the directly d dot values. It is going to return all the values that are present inside your dictionary. Okay, so next one is, so now what I have done here, if I want only keys, I am using keys method. Next, if I want only values, I am going for values. If I want all the items, that means what, every entry, that means what, at a time I want 1 Chenna, I want 2 Raju, 3 Kashi, 4 Ravi, I want. These are called as what, items of the dictionary. So if I want the item of the dictionary, then I have to go to a method called as items. Okay, the method name is what, items. So already I am having some dictionary D, so in that we are having 4 items we are having. I want to retrieve all those items, so just I have to go for a method called as d dot items. So whenever you are going to create item, so see, it is going to separate the each and every item in the form of tuple. Okay, so if I want to print in the same way here as I have printed here, just I will take in this way. So just I will write here d dot items. Okay, so let us print the values. Okay, see here what happens, each and every individual item is going to be printed here. So first one is what, key, second one is what, value. Here also same, first one is key, second one is value, and so on. This is about items. So here we have seen 3 methods. One is what, first one is keys, second one is values, third one is items. So if you want to get only keys from the dictionary, then we have to go for keys method, as we have seen here. So if you want to get only the values from the dictionary, I have to go to what, values method. In the same way, if I want to get individual item from the dictionary, then I have to go to a method called as what, items. So items method gives you what, all the items that are present inside your dictionary. So these three are some important, these three are important, because if you want to retrieve a particular key or a value, we can go for these keys and values. Okay, now I will show you one function, not a method, on function, that is enumerate. Enumerate function I want to show you. So where it is going to return you the index of the particular element or a item in a dictionary or in a list or in a tuple or in a set. So if I want to get the indexes and a particular value, I can go for enumerate. So if you want to get the index and the value of a particular iterable object, any iterable object, then I have to go for what, a function called as enumerate. Just I will take here a small dictionary, same dictionary I will take here. So here I am having one dictionary. So I will apply the enumerate on this one. Later I will apply on different iterable objects also. First I am going to take d equal to one dictionary I am going to take. Now I want to apply. So enumerate is going to give you what? Enumerate is going to give you index and also the value that is present in any iterable object. So I comma v in enumerate of d I am going to take. So here what happens? It is going to take what? Inside d what we are having? 1 Chennai is first item. Okay. Next one is what? 2 Raju is second item, 3 Kashi is third item, and 4 Ravi is fourth item. Now here what happens? If I am going to execute this one, and in I what we are going to get? The index of first item is going to be stored. Second one, second index of second is going to store, and so on. Let us see that one. So just I will print what? Print of, I will print I and V values. Just I will print I comma V. Now let us see what it is going to print. Okay. Right. Let us see now. See. Here it is going to print what? Index and also keys. Why it is going to print keys? Generally, if you are going to apply for loop on this dictionary, it's going to give you only the keys only, to not give the values. So see what happens. I, first iteration, what happens? So index of this one is 0, index of this one is 2, 3, and 4. If I first iteration, what happens? In I, 0 is going to be stored. Next, the key of the first item is 1, so that is stored in V. So first loop, what happens? 0 comma 1 is printed. Next loop, what happened? It will go to second item. So the index of this one is, it will treat it as 1, and the key is what? 2. So it will print what? 1 comma 2, and so on. Okay. So enumerate is a function which gives you the index and also the item here also, and also the element, but here we are having both key and value are there, so that we are going to get only key. So if I consider same example, but I'm going to take the dictionary in the place of in the place of dictionary, I'm going to take list. I'm going to take. So in list, I'm going to take some elements 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50. Now what happens? It will give the index, and also it will give the particular element. So first what happens? In first iteration, it is going to give you index of this one, that is 0. 0 will be stored in I. Next value is going to be stored in V. So first iteration I am printing what? I comma V. That means 0 comma 10 will be printed. Next iteration what happens? 1. This will act as what? 1. So index is 1 for this one. So in I 1 will be stored. In V what happens? 20 will be stored. So I comma V, it is going to print as what? 120. So let us see that. 1 minute. Here I have taken D. Just I have to take it as L. Right. So now see what happens. Index and the value of that particular list is going to be printed. So if you take the tuple also, the same concept. Just I will remove the square brackets and I will insert parentheses. I will test that one. Same output will be generated here. Okay. Same output. So enumerate is a function which gives you the index of the iterable object, and also particular element of that index is going to be printed. So this is about enumerate. Okay, now let us go to copy function. So already we have seen this copy function. It is going to do what? It is going to create a separate. So just I will show you. Already we have seen this concept. Right. Now I have taken what? Just I am going to take one dictionary, and I want to create one more dictionary of same type, for same elements with D, whatever we are having. I want to create same dictionary. So what I'm going to write? I'm going to write D1 equal to D. Now we have to understand what both the D1 and D is pointing to same object. That is, see here, what I have created? I have created some D. In this dictionary, we are having some key and value. Okay, key and value. Here key, here value we are having. Key value we are having. So when I'm going to write D1 equal to D, then what happens? D1 also will point to same object. So how to find this one? We are having the concept of ID. That is what ID function is there. So by using that ID function, we can observe if the both addresses are same, it is nothing but same object. If the both addresses are different, it is nothing but what? Different object. So here I'm going to print what? ID of D and ID of D1. So it will give you what? It will give you same address, because both are pointing to what? Same. Right. Now I want to apply copy. Already we have seen that. Copy method. So here, what is meant by copy method means it is going to create a new copy. Okay, copy. So for list we are having, for tuple we are having, in the same way for set also we have seen the same concept. So if you print now, what happens? Different addresses are going to be printed. That means now what happens here? D is one object. D is one object and D1 is a separate object. So that here if D updates this dictionary, it will not be affect to this D1. If D1 updates this dictionary, it is not going to affect to D. But in this concept, what happens? D equal to D1 means this concept is called as what? Aliasing. Okay. Here what happens? If D is going to modify this dictionary, for D1 also the values are going to be modified. If D1 is going to modify this one, for D also the values are going to be modified. So this is about copy. Okay. All right. Next method, clear. Clear is going to do what? It is going to do, sorry, it is going to clear all the elements of the dictionary. Just I will apply D dot clear. I will apply D dot clear, and just I will print after clearing the values. Just I will print of D. That means let us check what are the elements that are present in our dictionary after clearing. Will there be anything? First, what happens? Just I will print the dictionary which is containing some elements. After clearing also I'm going to print. Then what happens? No elements are present in our dictionary. That means first time it has to give you all items of the dictionary. Next it is going to give you empty. Why it is going to give you empty? Reason is here I'm going to apply a clear method on D. That means what happens? Clear method is going to clear all the items of D. That means all these items are going to be removed. So in D, is there anything here? Nothing is there. So it is going to print empty dictionary. Okay. Right. Now it is a specific method that is set default. It is somewhat important concept. Set default means, so in previously we have seen the same concept about set, I think. Now let us see set default. Method name is what? Set default. Just I will take a small example here. D dot, I will take a print of some D dot set default off. See here, when I am going to use set default, just I want to use 2 here. See, observe this one. If I am going to print only 2, if already 2 is present here, as 2 is present here, then let us see what it is going to print. First concept. So as 2 is present, nothing is going to be by default is not going to print anything. The default value is not given here also, so it is going to print Raju only. But now I am going to give some default value called as Hari. For example, I am going to give what? Hari. Now the answer will be what? When this default value is going to be given, whenever 2 is, for 2 if there is no value, then Hari is going to be printed. But for 2 some value is there here. 2 is there, key is there, and value is there. So when I print this 2, what happens? Automatically you are going to get Raju only. Reason is, when this default will be executed, if it is not present, default will be executed. For example, now I am going for another case. That case is, I am going to give some key which is not present in our dictionary. So is 5 is present in our dictionary? It is not there. So now see what happens. It is going to return you none, because 5 is not present in our dictionary. So if 5 is not present, how the value will be there for 5? So it is not there. Just it is going to return what? None. That means what? Nothing is there for 5. Now the concept is, I am going to do what? I am going to write the default value now. Now what happens? First it will check for 5 in the given dictionary. Is there any 5 here? So 5 is not there. So it will keep what? If 5 is not there, automatically the value also will not present for that key. So now it is going to set the default value as what? It is going to set the default value as Hari. So the output will be what? See here. The output will be Hari. Why it is Hari? First it will check for 5. Is there any 5? It is not there. So if it is not there, it will print what? Default value. If you are not going to give the default value and the key is not present in the dictionary, then none is going to be returned. If next case, if just you are going to give, a key here, just a key which is present, then what happens? Then automatically the value that is presented with that key is going to be printed. If you keep here default value also, if 3 is present inside a dictionary, then automatically the corresponding value is going to be printed here. Okay, no problem. When we are going for this default case, whenever the key is not present in our dictionary, then default value will be printed. If the default value is also not given, see here, now what happens? Set default of 5. First it will check for 5. Is there 5 in our dictionary? No 5. So that what has to be printed? So 5, if 5 key is not there, automatically value also will not be there. So the value is nothing but what? None. None indicates what? Nothing is there for 5. Now what happens? Now I am going to keep Hari. That means if 5, for 5, if there is no value or 5 is not there in our dictionary, then what has to be printed? Then default value has to be printed. That default is, I am setting the default value as what? Hari. So Hari is going to be printed for 5. Okay. So this is about set default. Now update method. We are going to see what? Update method. So already dictionary D is there now. Now I want to update this dictionary. Okay. Okay. Now let us take one small example. I want directly update this one. So see, just I'm taking D here, and I'm going to take one more dictionary D1. I'm taking some values in this one. 5 equal to, I'm taking as Hari. Now observe here. So when I'm going to take D, it is having 4 items. Next I'm going to take what? I'm going to take second dictionary. In that I'm taking only one element. Now I want to update D. So what I have to do? D dot update. That means what I'm telling, I want to update D. I want to update what? D. And with what I have to tell in this bracket? With what? With D1. That means D is going to update with the values that are present in D1. So if I print D here, you can observe the updated values. So see here. So what happens? If I print D, Hari is also added to the D. But initially what happens? Initially here, if I print D, initially if I print D, in that only 4 elements will be there. You can observe here now. So first if I print D, there how many values are there? Only 4 items are there. Next, if I after updating, how many values are there? Whatever the values I have updated, that are updated in our D also. Okay, right. Now I will take not only dictionary, I can also pass some other values also. Let us take one more update here. Okay, after updation, I have taken this one. Now once again, I'm updating. See here, update. I'm going to take some values like already 5 I have taken. Let us take 6. Just I will take 6 equal to. I'm going to take Venu also. Some name Venu. Okay. Next, I want to take some 7 value also. 7 equal to Shiva. I'm going to take. Now see what happens here. I am going to, in this way also we can update. So let us see after updating how the dictionary will be there. Print of D. That means first D is what? Just the values I'm going to take in D will be printed. After second D, what is going to be, what it contains? Additionally, Hari is going to be added. Next, after this D is going to print what? Additionally, 2 more values are going to be updated. Now you can observe that. 1 minute. So here, 1 minute. D dot update I have taken here. Okay. Let us take in this way. Let us try. Invalid syntax here. So we can take in this way. Okay, let's try another way here. Let's take some x equal to 10. I will take comma some y equal to 20. I will take. For example, let us see what happens here. Y equal to 20. Okay, see now it is attribute error, no update. Sorry, spelling mistake is there. So it is giving mistake. 1 minute. Just I will keep the same values. Okay. Right. Now see. Update. 1 minute. 1 minute. Expression cannot contain a assignment. Perhaps you meant double equal to. Okay. Just I will change this one. Try to change other values here. 1 minute. So x equal to 10 I will take. Some y equal to 20 I will take. So see, now it is taken here. Okay. So how it is taken? It is taken as a key value pair. That is nothing but it has taken as item. So in this way also we can update the dictionary. So for updating the dictionary, we can do what? We can pass the values to the update. So as we have passed what here, first time I have taken dictionary and I want to update D with this dictionary. So I have passed the D1. I can pass these separate values also in this way. If you are not going to pass any argument, let us take one example. If I don't want to pass any argument here, I want to print D. What will be there? Here I am not telling to update the D with any values. That means what? Will it be updated? No, it will not be updated. Same thing will be present here. If you observe here, same points are there. Okay, same items are there. Okay, right. This is about updating. Now, next method. Let us go to next method, that is from keys. The method name is from keys. Okay. So what is meant by this from keys means it's going to create a new dictionary from the given sequence of elements. Okay, let us I will take one small example and I will show you directly. I will take in the interactive shell. 1 minute, just I will take this dictionary. Right, I have created one dictionary. Now I can pass here two values for this one. For this from keys, I can pass two. 1 minute. Okay, I can pass two values. Let us see by passing only one value first time. Just I will print D here. What we can see here, I can see key values. But from keys means what? First I will take only the keys. First I will take what? Only keys in a list. Observe this one carefully. 30, 40 and 50. So here I want to place these 5 as keys for a dictionary. Okay. Now this is what? This is a list. Keys is a list. If you want to see that, you can observe that one. Type of keys. You are going to get what? List type. Now I want to keep this list of elements, each element as a key for the dictionary. So now for that I am going to use what? I am going to use a method called as what is that? Sorry, a method called as what? From keys. So I have to apply. I have to create what? Dict dot. Just I am going to write dict dot from keys. Okay. In that I am going to pass keys. Okay. So it has been created here. So now I want to see what are present in numbers. Print of numbers. See here. Observe carefully here. What happens? First I have taken what? In these keys I am going to take some values and I want to make these values as a keys in a dictionary. For that I have to use what? Dict dot from keys. Okay. From keys is present in where? Dict. So that I can use what? Dict dot from keys. So that what are those keys in keys? Those are present in keys. Those are nothing but 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So finally we are going to get what? 10. Okay, keys as what? 10. Next one is what? 20 as what? Key. 30 as key. 40 as key. 50 as key. Why here values are nones? Because I have not passed any value. So by default, just I am going to give what here? Only keys I am going to give. But I have not given any values. So that by default, those are what? None. So now I want to place keys also, sorry, values also for this dictionary. So what I have to do? Same thing you have to take here. Just I'm going to take here. Keys I have taken here. Now I want to pass the value also. For everything I want to pass the value also. Same method you have to write. And next here, whatever the value you want to set for the objects, that is the items of your dictionary, I can do in this way. Now see. Now what I have set it here? Keys means what? How many keys are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 is going 5 keys are there in our dictionary now. What is the value for that key? For every key we are going to pass only one value. That value is what? Shiva only. So if I print numbers here, we are going to get 5 keys and 5 values. By default it is what? Only Shiva, because I have passed what? Only Shiva to that. Okay, right. Now let us take one small example here. I will just try to modify this one. Here I am going to pass some second value also I want to pass here. For example, I will take, how many are there? 5 are there. Just I will take A here. Let us try here whether it is possible or not. B here. Next C. Next D I am going to take here. Okay. Right. Let us try here. Okay, it has been taken here. Now see, let us see what happens numbers. So what happens here? It is going to take second parameter entire as second parameter as a value for every key. So that initially what I have passed only Shiva. So that it has taken only Shiva for as a value. But now what I have passed as a second parameter? Second parameter I have passed a group of values. So a group of values are going to be act as a value for the keys. Okay. Now the concept is, observe here carefully. The same example I will take here once again. Same things I will take. After everything is same, right? Now here keys are present. Now see what happens. 10 Shiva, 20 Shiva, all are there. Now I want to update the values. Okay, I want to update what? Values. Just I will see. Just I will take values equal to, I am going to take a name called as Shiva here. Okay. Now, oh, 1 minute. Sorry. First I have to take this. Sorry. 1 minute. Just I will take same example. Okay, keys are there. Now I will take values also here. Just I want to take only one value, that is Shiva. I am going to take here. Now keys are present, values are given here. Now what I will do? I will do numbers equal to, I want to print dict dot. I want to arrange what? The keys and values. What I have to do? From keys of, what I have to pass here? Keys and values. Now observe clearly. So now if I print numbers, what happens? If I print numbers, it is arranged with key and values. Now the concept is, I want to append some value to the values. So values dot append of. That means what? Additionally, one value is going to be added to values. Now if I print numbers, what you can observe? See, two things you can observe. What happens here? Once again, I'm going to explain this one. First, what is meant by values here? See, values is nothing but 1 minute. Okay, here keys are what? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. What are values? Only one value is there, that is Shiva is there. So whenever I am going to write numbers equal to dict dot from keys comma value, values contains what? Shiva. So for all the keys, the what is that? Value is Shiva only. Next, I am appending to the values. So already values what we are having, Shiva is there. For that Shiva, I am going to append Ram also. So this values contains what now? Shiva comma Ram, it is going to contain. So now if I print that numbers, what happens? The values are going to be updated with Rama also. So for every value, it is going to give you what? Shiva and Rama. Okay. This is about the methods of your dictionary, having some few functions that can be applied on the dictionaries. So this is somewhat complex, it may be there. Listen carefully these methods. So first I will write the 1 minute. I will write the definitions for those methods, those functions, and I'll start taking the examples. Now see, first one is all method. Listen carefully. This is a function I'm going to take. All function. So whatever the functions now I am discussing, those functions can be applied on our dictionaries. Okay. So here some rules are there. I will write those rules also, and I will check about and I will show you about those rules also by taking the examples. So now all is a function which returns true or false. It can return what? Only true or false. So when it is going to return true, when it is going to return false, I will show you now. Okay, right. Whenever, listen carefully, whenever the elements of given iterable means what? Group of values. Iterable object contains true only. All the elements of, listen carefully, all the elements of given iterable object is true, then only output will be what? True. Otherwise we are going to get what? Otherwise we are going to get false. This is one. Okay, we have to understand this one. When we are going to get true for this function, if the elements, all elements are true, then only we are going to get output as what? True. If at least one element is false, at least one element is false, we are going to get false. If all elements are false, automatically we are going to get what? False. Next, one point we have to remember is, if one value is true, for example, if only one value is true, remaining all are false. One value is true. Then what happens? Some false are there. So you treat it as what? False. Only one value is false. One value is false. So there is a false. Then what happens? We are going to get only false. Okay. Next, this is important. Empty iterable. Empty iterable. Then it is going to return you what? It is going to return you true. This is important point where it leads to confusion. This point has to be remembered here. So once again, I am going to repeat the function. What is the function name? All. That means all the elements has to be true. Then only it is going to return you true. If at least one element is false, then you are going to get output as what? False only. So here what? One value is true. If one value is true, what? Remaining all are false only. That means we are going to get output as false. If one value is false, at least one value is false also, what happens? We are going to get false only. All has to be true, then only we are going to get what? True. What about this empty iterable? Empty iterable is not having at least one false. Okay, if false is not there, we cannot consider it as a false, we cannot consider it as a true. But by default, it is going to give answer as what? True by using this all function. So I will take the example, observe carefully here. So first I will take, it may be any iterable. First thing we have to observe is what? It is a function. All is a function which can be applied on any iterable, so that it can be applied on any iterable. First I will take one list and I will show you what happens. 10 comma 20 comma 30 comma 40 comma 50 I am going to take. All these are what? All these are numbers, non-zero numbers. So if I apply all of L, then what happens? So non-zero gives you what? True only. Here it contains what? All truths. So you are going to get answer as what? True only. Now I am going to take L equal to some non-zero, and I am going to take one value as false. Now in this we are going to have what? At least one false is there. All are not true here. So if I apply all of L, it is going to give you what? False, because at least one false is there here. Okay. In the same case, just I will take the same example, and last I am going to place 0. Now tell me here, all are true or false? 5 are true, 1 is 0. 0 indicates what? 0 indicates false. So we are going to get what? We are going to get output as false. Okay. So this is about a list. Now I want to show you about string. It is a list, is a iterable object. Now I'm going to apply same thing onto the string. Okay, now see, I'm going to take one string here. In this string I will check, I will apply all function. Okay, all of yes. So what happens? True. Here there is no concept of false here, so you are going to get what? All true only. Next I will write some other value. See here, I am going to write what? Some value 0. In string it will not become a false, it will give you true only. If I apply all of S, you are going to get what? True only, because the 0 is not indicates false in our string. It is a value, something is present here. So we are going to get what? We are going to get true only. Here you may it leads to confusion for you. Here 0 is not indicated as false in a strings. It is going to give it as a what? Some value is present, so it is going to give you true. Now important concept here we have to observe is, I am going to take empty string. So what is the rule for empty iterable here? Empty iterable means what it is going to take? It is going to give you true only. But according to our rule, Boolean rule, what happens? Okay, so according to our string rule, so first I will show you this one. Just I will print what? A bool of S. It is going to return me what? False, according to our Boolean rules. But according to all function, what happens? All is going to return what? True when it is empty. So it is empty here. So if I apply all to S, it is going to return you what? True only. Don't confuse here. According to Boolean rule, it is going to be false, but according to all iterable objects which are empty, it is going to return you true. Okay, right? I will take list also empty and I will show you once. L equal to empty list I will take and I will apply all of S. So you are going to get what answer as true. So in this way, all can be applied on the some of the iterables. So let us take in the same way we can apply the same things on sets and tuples also. Same thing will be applied. But as now we are seeing about dictionaries, let us see one small example for the dictionaries case also. So in the case of dictionary, what happens? Here it is not going to consider values. It is going to consider only keys. If keys are going, all keys are true, then it's going to give you what? True. Okay. Right. Let us see that one. It is not going to consider what? Values. Just I'm going to take one dictionary here. In that I will take one. I will take here false. No problem. Directly I will take false here. Next two. I will take true here. Okay. Now see. Here what I'm going to apply? All of D I am going to apply. So what happens? True. Reason is what? It's going to check only these things. Okay. That is what? 1 and 2. It's not going to check about these things. Let us take without strings I will take here. Without strings I will take. Right. Now see. Now also if you apply all of D, it is not going to take these values. If it takes value, what happens? It becomes what? False. But according to our all rule, what happens? It should be false. But what happens here? In the concept of dictionary, it is not going to consider the values. It's going to consider only the keys. So in keys is what here? 1 is key and 2 is key, which are non-zero. So automatically both are true here. So it is going to return what? True only. Now here I will take one example as 0. 0 indicates what? 0 indicates false. So automatically if I apply all to our dictionary, what it is going to give you? False. What is the reason? If we are having at least one false in our iterable object, then we are going to get what? False only. Okay, right. Now this is about all. The same type of function we are going to have, that is any. This is about all. That means what? All should be true. In this case, what happens? All should be true. Same I will write here only any also. So you can compare all and any. So any indicates what? Any of the. Okay, all indicates what? Everything. Here any means any. That means what? At least if one true is there, then it returns what? True. Same here also, same concept. We are going to pass iterable object. When it is going to return true means when all values are true, it will return true. Okay, this is first case. Next, if all values are false, what it is going to return? False only. If at least one true, that means what? At least one true, anything is true, then we are going to get what? We are going to get true only. Okay, right. If at least if one false is there, one false iterable elements are true, then only it is going to return true. If at least one false is there, it is going to return what? False. So here only one true, only one value is true. That means what? Remaining all are false. So we are going to get false. Here one value is false. So if at least one value is false, also output will be false here. Empty iterable, it is going to return what? True. In the same way here, in the name it says what? Any. That means at least anything. So here all values are true. So at least if one value is true also, we will get true. If all values are true also, we will get true only. If all values are false, if all values are false means, that means what? No true is there. At least one true is also not there, so we are going to get false. At least one true, remaining all are false. No problem, one true is there, it's enough for me. So true. One false, that indicates what? Only one false is there, remaining all are true, so we are going to get true. empty iterable. Here in the case of any, it is going to return what? False. Okay, right. Let us take one small example for this one. Just I will take, we can apply for any iterable, no problem. We can take list, we can take tuple, we can take set, we can take dictionary. So as we have seen all these concepts here, for all, just I will take only one dictionary and I'll explain for you. So see here, if you observe, this is false and this is what? True. So at least if one true is there, any is going to give you what? Any is going to give you true only. So we are going to get true. If your dictionary is going to contain all keys as false, here 0 I'm going to take. 1 minute. If I take in this way, what happens? We are going to get only, if you observe D, what happens? Only one value will be there because duplicates are not allowed. Okay. So in this case also, if 0 is there, what it indicates? It indicates false only. So any of D. So we are going to get false because it is going to consider only one element is there, that element also false. So here I will take, just I will take what? False, 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 false and false I am going to take. So what happens here? True or false? Oh, sorry. It will take only as a duplicate value. So one I will take 0. So see, if I print D, no problem. Here, what happens? False and 0 are same. So 0 indicates what? False only. So again, it's going to take duplicate only. So don't worry. In a list, I will take now. So in list, duplicates are allowed. So now I will take 10 comma 0 comma 20 comma some false also I will take here. False. So in this case, what happens? 0 is false. False is false. 20 and 10 is going to be treated as what? True. Now if I apply any of D, at least one true is there here. 10 is acting as true, 20 is acting as true. Now we are going to get as what? True only. If I take only two elements, for example, a 0 comma false, and I am going to take this one. In this way, what happens? Sorry. Here what happens? We are having two false only. If I apply any of D, we are going to get what? False. Reason is what? At least one true is not there here. So we are going to get what? False. This is about what? Any function. This is a function. All and any is a function which can be applied on any iterable. Okay, iterable means what? It can be string, it can be list, it can be tuple, it can be dictionary, it can be set. Okay. Now I will take empty. Just I will take a empty set or empty dictionary, no problem. Just I will apply what? Any of D. What we are going to get? If empty, we are going to take for any. It is going to return you what? False only. If I take D equal to empty string, I am going to take. If I apply any of D, what happens? False. But if I take the same case for all of D, what happens? It's going to return you what? True. Okay, these 2 points we have to understand here. So this is about all and any functions. Now we can also apply what here? We can apply same concept, membership operators, and same in the dictionaries we can apply membership operators and also identity operators. Just I will take one small example here. So just I will take one in D. Is one is there in D? Yes, it is there. Okay. If I take false in D, now see, observe here. Why it is going to return false here? Reason is whenever I am going to apply one in D, it will check only for what? One. Okay. It will not check for the key. Only if I give one value here, it is going to check for what? Only keys. Right. Now I will write what? 3 not in D. Is 3 is in D? Not there. So we are going to get what? True only. Not in. 3 is not in D. It is correct. So we are going to get true. If I write 3 in D, is 3 in D? Not there. So we are going to get what? False. So membership operators can be applied to our dictionaries. In the same way, we can also have what? Just identity operators also can be applied for our dictionary. That is what here I will write what? D is D1. Is both are same or not? Both are same because both are pointing to the same object. So it is going to return you true. Right. Next I will create D2 equal to D dot copy. D dot copy. Now it acts as what? Both are different. So if I ask D is D2, both are different. So we are going to get what? False. Okay, already we know about this membership and identity operators. Anyway, just I am showing you that it can be applied on our dictionaries also. Now, last concept in our dictionaries is dictionary comprehensions. So already we have seen list comprehension and tuple comprehension also. Now we are going to see about what? Dictionary comprehension. Okay, or dict comprehension. So it is somewhat different because in our dictionary we are going to have both keys and values, but we are going to consider list or tuple. There we are going to have only one value. So there is no problem, but here we have to observe clearly. So here we have to write any dictionary variable equal to, observe carefully, here first value whatever you are going to write that acts as a key. Next after colon you are going, whatever you are going to write, we are going to get what? Value. So for some expression here, for x in range of, okay, sorry, directly I will write, so as it is a general form, just I will write as a syntax for variables in iterable. Okay, I will take the examples also. So this is the syntax. Okay, this is the syntax or general form of the dictionary comprehension. So just I will take one small example. So squares is one dictionary. In this I want to what I want to do, I want to keep keys as a numbers and values as the squares of that numbers. Okay, right, observe here. So here just I will take x. Here I want to do what? Square x into x, or x power 2 also we can write here, no problem. For which values you want to do? For x in range of 1 comma 11. That means here what you can observe? You can observe for every x value in this range. That means what? First 1, next 2, and so on up to 10 it will take. So here first time what is going to be stored? 1 is going to be stored. 1 into 1, what it is going to print? It is going to print 1. Next loop what happens? The value of this range is what? Next one 2. 2 is going to be passed to x. Next value 2 colon 4. Next value 3 colon 9, and so on up to 10 colon 100 it is going to give you. So if you observe this one, it is going to looks like what? Key and value pairs. So these are what? Items. These items are stored in what? In a dictionary. In this way we can perform. So just take a small, let us see the same example here. Just I will do what? Just I'm going to take squares. Okay, squares equal to, just I will take a dictionary and some x I am going to take as a value. What I'm going to take? X into x I am going to take. For what I have to take, some x in, from where I'm going to take range of 1 comma 11. So 1 comma 11 I'm going to take here. Now see, something has happened. Let us see what has happened and what are the values that are going to be stored in our squares. So see, you can observe clearly here. Key is what? What I have written here, key as x. Key as x, and what here I have written value as what? X into x. Sir, if I write square, if I want to write this one as x into x, you can write, no problem. If I write x into x, what happens? The value will become x into x. So see, first it become 1, it become 4, it become 4, it become 4. Sorry, 1 1 4 4 and so on, because same operation I'm going to perform. So here you can write anything. Here you can write any expression. Any expression can be written here. Any expression can be written here. No problem. What? Based on your problem, you can write the any expressions here. So this is a small example. Now I want to take one more expression. I want to take price of some items. For example, I am going to take daily items which we are going to use. First I will take milk. The cost of milk is, for example, 58 I am going to consider. Next I want to take the coffee prices. I will take 20 rupees. Okay, and same I will take bread. Okay, bread price is 25 rupees. So this one I have stored. If I print price also, we are going to get same values here, no problem. Now as we are having a corona situation, for example, the prices of these items has been modified. So whenever the prices are going to be modified, for every item here, for example, 10 rupees has been increased. Then how the dictionary has to be updated? Milk should be there, and here 68 should be there. Coffee should be there, and it should become 30. Bread should be there, and here size value should be what? 35 it has to become. So now I want to modify this one. So let us take, I want to take the new dictionary name as new price, for example. So what I have to do? I want to keep item as same. Item as same. I don't want to change item because items are same here. So item as same, and value with what? Value with 10 rupees increment. Okay. From where I have to take these things? For, listen carefully this one. I am going to take both key and values. So I have to apply what? Items. Okay. For two values I am going to take some item. No, sorry. From items I am going to take. Here I have written item. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Item, comma, value I am going to take. From where I am going to take? In items of what? Price. You have to understand this one carefully. Okay. Right. See this one here. What happens? Items of price. So sorry. Price dot items. Not. It is not a function. It is a method. So that 1 minute. What do we have to write? Price dot items. Yes. Now listen carefully. So price dot items is going to give you what? First it is going to give you milk and 58. So milk is going to be stored in item and 58 is going to be stored in value. So what I'm doing? Item is going to be same. That is what? Milk. But value is going to be increased with what? 10. So first time what happens? Milk will be stored in this new price and value is going to be what? Increased by 10. That means 68 is going to be stored with milk. Next, second iteration, what happens? Second item is what? Coffee 20. So what happens? Item is coffee only, value is going to be 20 plus 10. Okay, 30 is going to be stored, and so on. So if I press this one, and if I want to see new prices of the items, just you print new prices. So you can observe what? The value is incremented for all the items. So, sir, we are taking only for loop. Can't we take any conditions here? If you want, you can take the conditions also. Just a small example here. Dictionary I will take. I want to take the students who is having their age with the even numbers. Okay, this is odd. For example, I am going to take even numbers and odd numbers. So 32. Next, I want to take some other name. The age is 33. Next, last one is I will take some other name where the age is 34. Now here from this I want to take only the elements whose age is in odd numbers. That is what 32 and 34 I want to take. For that I can write what? I can write it one dictionary comprehension I can write. That is new dict I will write for this one. So you can understand the logic here. Just first I will write the condition. Later I will come back to whatever the key should be there, what are the value should be there. So for first I am going to write what? For key and value I have to consider here. Just I will take k comma v. You can take anything. Key comma value. From where you are going to take? In d dot items. From d dot items I want to take. So now what happens? From d dot items all the values are going to be stored here with the condition. What are those conditions? If value percentile, okay, value percentile 2 equal to 0, that means what? It's going to take only even values. Then the values has to be stored in our, where I have to store? In new thing. That is what? Here also I am going to consider k and v. Now see, now if I take this condition, if you print new dict, you can understand clearly. See what happens? Only two names are there. Otherwise, now for example, I want to take one more condition here. Okay, if one more condition I want to take, age is less than 33. Let us take what? Age is less than 33. Sorry, age means what? Where age is inside a value. So v less than 33. That means what? Only one will be printed here. That is what? 32 is only printed. So if you want to write a number of conditions also, we can write here, no problem. Just we have to understand what? How to use this dictionary comprehension you have to understand. We can have for, and we can have some conditions also here. So one thing we have to understand about this dictionary is here we have to take two values. Okay, right. This is about dict comprehension. So with this we have completed all the concepts of data types in detail. Now at last I want to summarize the concepts what we have discussed. Just I will take one small table so that you can get all the whatever the data types we have discussed till now in detail. All properties I am going to write once here. So list, tuple, set and dictionary. Okay, right. First property I want to discuss is insertion order. So insertion order. Now in list, is there any insertion order or there? Yes, insertion order is there in our list. What about tuple? Yes, insertion order is there. What about set? There is no insertion order here. So it is what? There is no insertion order. What about dictionary? There is no up to 3.6, but from 3.6 we are having. So now we are having the insertion order here, so that we are going to place yes. Next one, duplicates. Duplicates are allowed in list or not? Yes, duplicates are allowed. In tuple, yes. In your set, no. What about in our dictionary? Dictionary we are having what? Keys and values are there. For keys we should not have any duplicates. For values we can have duplicates. Okay. Next, heterogeneous elements. Heterogeneous. So here for all the list, tuple, set and keys and values also we can have what? Heterogeneous elements. Immutability. Okay, so is list is immutable? No, it is mutable. It can be changeable, so it is not immutable. What about tuple? Tuple cannot be changed, so it is immutable is yes. What about set? I can insert the some elements into the set, so it is what? It is not immutable, it is mutable, so it is not into. What about dictionary? Dictionary also I can change, so it is not a immutable, it is mutable. Last one is indexing and slicing. Where can I apply indexing and slicing? Can I apply in list? Yes, it can be applied. Can I apply in tuple? Yes. Can I apply in set? We cannot apply because we don't know the exact index of any particular value, because it will be arranged in random order. Okay, so it is no here. Here also what happens in dictionary also we are not having the concept of indexing and slicing. So this is about data types that are present in our Python. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to new concepts. Till now, we have discussed in detail about only data types. From tomorrow onwards, we will go to new concepts, that functions, modules, and so on. Okay. Thank you.